Mr. Benny Appice.
little bit of comedy there. My goodness. Oops, I'm stuck. There we go. Hello, everybody. Now, gotta have my one thing I gotta have when I play is a fan. Not a person, guy or girl, but a fan. Little fan. This is the greatest little fan. I don't know if you can see it. I can't lift it anymore. It's small. And it does the trick. And that fits in the suitcase. And now it's humming. There we go. Yeah, I got to have air moving. It's just something about having the air moving makes me play a little better. Okay, a little bit of stuff there. And what was I doing? Okay, got that out of my system. Anyway, thanks for joining me again. It's Tuesday, and tomorrow, Last in Line leaves to fly to, was the first gig in Wisconsin, Glen Flora, Wisconsin, and it's kind of a festival for a couple of days. We're headlining the first night, which is Thursday. And it's kind of out in the middle of Glen Flora, because when I searched hotels a couple of weeks ago, let's search hotels and find a hotel for the band. One hotel came up. I went, what? So I tried again. One hotel came up. I went, holy crap. It's a one hotel town. And then, of course, I looked for the rooms. We needed one more room. And they didn't have it on that site. So I checked around and I went on a different booking site. All right, and I found a room. So, we're all set, and then we start a weekend mini tour, 4 whole shows. But it's going to be the first gig in a year and a half or more for this band, and so we went to rehearse in Las Vegas because that's where Andy and Phil live. Viv and I. We drove in from L.A., and we had a great time. It was fun. And the first rehearsal was at a place where the drums weren't that good. And I'll tell you, it was hard to play drums that are not that good, especially when there's no rebound on the snare, or the toms weren't as bad. But when I hit the snare, it's bouncing. It's bouncing back. I got a rebound. Makes it easy to play. the snare drum that I was playing, I didn't bring snare drum. I didn't want to leave it in the car and stuff. It's so hot there. It was very dead. It was like playing on a pillow. I can't even simulate it here unless I had a blanket, or a towel. And there was no rebound. So it was really like, we rehearsed. The towel's not very big. This it doesn't simulate it. Different sound. Interesting. And that takes away some of the rebound. So that 4 hours of rehearsing. I took a break here and there, but knocks you out a little bit because I'm not used to that kind of set. See, here I get a lot of rebound. So anyway, the first night between playing these drums and then the gear, it wasn't our gear. It was pretty funny rehearsal, and then remembering all the parts, that was hilarious too. Oh shit, I forgot that. Oh shit. Even though you know the songs, it's just something about you got to play them. It's memory, muscle memory. Sometimes if the say the song starts, whatever, or like the King of Rock and Roll. It's just, it starts like that, but sometimes you're not starting on the right hand, and then you get messed up. It messes you up. So that's like muscle memory. Your body's used to going different positions when you're playing these songs, even though you played them a million times. And then a break like a year and a half, you go, man, oh, that's wrong. It doesn't feel right, And that and going, remembering the parts and stuff. So, but we rehearsed, and then we rehearsed the next day at a different place. Actually, we went to Danny Coca's place from Counting Cars. He's a real good friend of the band, great guy. And he sings really, really, really good. And he has a nice studio, and we rehearsed there. So it was really nice. We rehearsed there a couple of years ago, and we wrote half of the second Last in Line album there. It's just something about that room. It's just cool, comfortable, magical, whatever you want to call it. And this time we just, second day we figured we'd just do the set. We did that and run it down. And then third day we jammed because we need some more riffing ideas for the next album. So we just did it there, and there's just something about comes together there, There's one song I started playing a feel. I forgot what the feel was because it just came out at that time, something like. Something like that. It wasn't that exactly, but it was that bass drum thing. Instead of going straight beat. Something like that, but that's another approach to playing a beat instead of just playing 2 and 4. So we had a lot of fun. So we wrote a lot of stuff, and then we rehearsed again with the set because we definitely needed to do it 3 times. So Thursday's the big night. We're headlining that place, and it should be fun, and we just have to play tight together. See, when you in that situation, you really got to watch your bandmates. You got to listen, since everybody's on a little bit of an edge because it's the first show, and pay attention. Basically, that's what it is, paying attention. And that song I played to was Orange Glow. It's by Last in Line. And it just had this double hi-hat feel. It's another way to practice and to come up with different feels and different beats. Instead of tune 4 again. This is tune 4, but you're putting the 16th notes on the hi-hat. Another way to practice, because when you're doing the 16th notes, the bass drum's falling, see, on the right hand. So that's a good practice as well, to get the bass drums in there. So you don't want to just play like a stiff that beat. Start with that, then get syncopated. Yeah, and that's might take you a bit to get that bass drum in there. Another thing I was doing, I was playing the bass drum with the right hand like this. See? That's what I'm playing. Too. I also do that playing just on the cymbal, like on a chorus or something. Today's note. That's a good one too. So what I'm doing there is just going. I'll slow it down. All right. I'm putting the bass drum on the second snare beat, like this. And that's it's kind of like a ghost note, but not as subtle as the ghost notes. Ghost notes are just notes played. I play them on the snare, give it more feel, give it more funk, like this. The main accents on the 2 and the 4. And I put them together with the bass drum on the second beat of the snare. See, got to have that feel in there. Makes it more funky and more real. You know, you can really feel it when you put all the ghost notes in. This one, the other one I was doing was just a triplet. Two with the left hand and one with the foot. It's like a drag, they call it. What a drag! Like this. I'll do slow. See? It's not this. These are the same triplets. That sounds different. That's pretty much an open triplet with the left hand and the foot. This other one is a drag, just to fill up the beat a little bit, give it some groove. Okay. And also, this, I don't know if it's this week, but today, this snare drum is on sale if you order it on the app. This is a great snare drum. The whole set, this is my new set. This is hickory wood, 6-ply hickory wood. And these are 12, 13, 18, 24 by 14. 14's a lot faster, you know. And this is from Sawtooth, of course. And the snare drum's a 6.5 by 14. Ooh, hit the mic. This is what it looks like. It's a beautiful drum. Where's the badge? There's the badge. Beautiful drum. The whole set has a beautiful finish on the drum. On the drums, it's kind of like a hand rubbed stain and some I don't know if it's some sort of finish. Very it's like a not even semi-gloss. It's like a satin finish. It's really cool. So it's not covered at all. So these drums are just all wood. They got a lot of tone. So this snare drum here is the hickory snare drum, and 6-ply, all hickory. There's no junk, there's no filler, there's no fat, there's no cholesterol in it. It's just pure 6-ply hickory, and it has a 3mm die-cast hoops, which are really strong, solid steel lugs, which are pretty damn strong as well, and it's got a great EQ balance of highs and lows. It's a great drum. I've used it in the studio. I've used it live, and it sounds amazing. And it's got a great snare throw-off. Keeps it tight. There's no slippage in it, and it's a really great snare drum. So you can check it out. I think there's an ad there. I see it. It's normally $4.99. Now $3.99. That's pretty good for a professional killer snare drum, you know. And this thing in the studio sounds great. Check it out and take it from me. It's a great sounding snare drum. If you're looking for a nice overall snare drum, it's got a lot of crack to it, and it sounds great in the studio. This drum rocks. Very good. And the rest of this stuff, this is Chromacast hardware, and it's the same company. Sawtooth is part of Chromacast, and these are some great cymbal stands. They got one, you can't see it, so yeah, maybe you can see it. One lever there, and that controls the up and down and the side by side, which is good because if you're playing and something goes wrong, it drops a little bit, something drops, you can just reach over in between a song, just loosen it and get it where you want, tighten it. You don't have to look for the two wing nuts, you know. So great hardware by Chromacast, and the pedals are Chromacast. And so check it out on the app. The snare drum is on sale for $3.99. Heads on this is Evans G2s. These really sound good on these drums. On the snare, I'm using an Evans Heavyweight, and on the bass drum, it's an EQ3 with the muffle out. As you know, I don't like muffling, so. And so check them out. That's the drums, cymbals, Sabians, double A's all around. Medium crashes, great cymbals. These cymbals, I could hear them over the band who plays loud. And then they blame me because they say I play loud, right? Nice and steady, as I always say. I was going to tell you something. Oh, I know. So I had a good time in Vegas. It was fun. It was hot. And there was some crazy... we went to that casino, New York, because Andy Freeman's girlfriend, Sarah, she does a dueling piano thing there, and it was fantastic. And people were going crazy. You know, like one big party there. But we did have an Indian meal. We got the Indian food, and we ordered it at this little place that you wouldn't think would be that good, especially that I passed it many times coming down from Vamps. We play Vamps a lot. My drum monster. And we ordered it to go. We got a whole bunch of stuff. Then we went to Phil's new big house he has in Vegas, and we had a great time. Right, Lala? Lala's here.
Yeah, I'm here now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have a good time in Vegas?
Oh, yeah, it was nice and hot.
I know, right? Let me put you louder because I had to turn that mic down a little bit.
Okay.
So I noticed that mic really picks up the drums with a lot of distortion, but I don't want that much distortion, even though I do like, you know, some distortion. So, so we had a great time. And now we're back, and I leave tomorrow, and then I'll be back next week, too. I'll be here because I come back on Monday. Then, bam, the next day, I'm here for some fun. But let's take some questions, as we always do.
Yes, we always do.
And as far as going out to eat tonight or making something to eat, I have no idea what we're gonna do.
I don't know. What are
Could
we
be a
gonna do?
peanut butter and jelly.
It might be.
That's pretty good, those peanut butter and jellies. I never think of making those.
I like them.
All right, let's see something here. This light. Yeah. I don't know what setting it on, but see, it's red. Then when I play, it plays to the music. There you go. It's funny. It's like it's got a little mic in there, you know. Get a little light show going on. Playing low for you, Lala, so you don't get bombarded by drums. Okay, let's take a question.
Oh yeah, talking about lights. Strobe lights look great. How much does it add to your performance? Enjoyment of it.
You know what? That's a good question because I freaking hate strobe lights. This is not bad because it's not right on me. But in my career, I played many shows where the strobe lights were like all around the drums. And then, it's usually at the drum solo, and you start ending, it goes. And you can't even see anything, Or worse yet, you're playing a fast song, like Stand Up and Shout. And the strobe lights throw me off a little bit. I can't see anything, and it's distracting, and I'm playing. I close my eyes. So that's a good question. I always tell them, use the strobe lights sparingly. Don't just keep strobing away, Plus, that's, you don't want to keep using them, then it loses the effect. But it's definitely distracting. This is just, easy. And it's on the floor. It's on the wrong setting. Who did that?
I don't know.
Okay, next question.
Do you always hit the rim in every snare beat, or do you only do it in grooves and never in fills?
I always hit the snare beat in the grooves, not the snare beat, the snare rim, and in the fills too. There's a big difference. If I play without the rims on the skin in the center. Now I play with the rim. See, all that stuff is on the rims. On the tom, I'm in the middle. But if I play that lick, which is slow as this, if I play it in the middle of the snare, sounds good, but it doesn't have the attack and aggression of the rim like this. And you got to make the face. Can't smile and do that like. Can't do that. So yeah, and I always play the fills are on the snare. I'm on the rim all the time. Yeah. And if I'm not, if it's some other pattern I am playing, like this, those kind of things, I want to accent those things that are in there, which are kind of like rough triplets on the rim, like. Gives it more dynamics. I'm accenting those parts of the fill and then coming down a little bit too. So, but mostly I'm on the rim. Good question. Okay.
What's the size of the snare tonight?
What's that?
What is the size of the snare tonight?
The size of the snare is 6.5 deep by 14. This is the hickory snare drum that's on sale for $3.99. It's a great drum. You could hear the warmth in this drum. So, usually I use 5-inch, 5.5 at the most, because I used to have problems with the snare stand not being low enough. So I would always play with the 5-inch snare or the 5.5. But this is a Chromacast snare stand. It goes low. It goes nice and low. And same thing with the seat. I used to have a problem with seats that never went low enough. So I like to sit low. I'm pretty low here. Let's get low. Right. Okay, let's go on from there.
Any gigs in the New York City area coming up soon?
Yes, Carmine, my brother Carmine and I, we're playing. Oh, gee, I think it's the third week. It's on a Sunday at the Cutting Room in New York City. So we got like 4 shows on the East Coast. We're playing Buffalo, New York City, I think Pennsylvania and somewhere else. So come down. That's Drum Wars. We got a great band, and we it's a great show, high energy show. We'll be doing those gigs. Check out my website, Carmine's website, and we'll have them up there, or the Facebook, or whatever. When I say the Facebook, what am I, 90 years old? Why are you on that? The Facebook again?
Get off of that, the Facebook.
The Facebook. So, yeah, we'll be playing. The Cutting Room is a beautiful place. Doesn't look like it from the outside. You know, it's New York City, and there's a door. It looks a little like, And then you open the door, and you go down the hall, and there's a beautiful old theater. It's gorgeous. And the owner's really cool. I forgot. I think his name's Steve. So, yeah, come down. Third week in September. Okay.
How do you keep the bass drum from moving?
How do I keep the bass drum from moving? That's a good question. Well, this one, this bass drum, this is the higher end Chromacast sawtooth drums, and the legs are pretty heavy duty, and they're just in the rug and it's not moving. So, but live when I'm really pumping out, playing louder, what we got to do is have a rug, put the drum in, and then put the pedal on, and then tape the pedal underneath the footboard, like strips, and whatever it takes. And between that and the rug, it holds, believe it or not. But years ago, with Dio, I always insisted on any of the drum riser, the top of it would be wood, not rug, because it's louder with wood. And we used to just drill 2 little holes, and the spurs just sat in those holes, and the damn thing didn't move. But over the years, I tried a chain. Put the chain on, put it around the seat, put it on this end. But the floor tom gets in the way, and it twisted a little bit. So the tape works great on the pedal. So if you're having trouble with slippage, this is a way to check it out. Tape the bottom of the pedal, and it doesn't leave any residue and stuff. Don't do the top of the pedal, because that will. And then your foot will stick to it. You don't want that. See what I'm doing now? I'm getting 2 different sounds. That's what I wanted to play. I'm trying to play this thing musically. If I start here, it sounds different because I'm starting with the floor tom than this. Right? So you put them together. See? Think musically all the time, which means we kind of repeating stuff, and then people in the audience get that. Okay, let's take 1 or 2 more questions.
What's the average time it takes you to set your drum kit up?
I don't set them up. No, I don't set them up. Although, like we just did something in Nashville, Carmine and I did master classes, and the drums were there, but they always go, "Hey, we got you set up." And I sit down and they were all over the place. So I'd rather just dig in and adjust them myself. And I do that. Carmine doesn't do that. He gets people, talks them into doing it. But I know mine are not right because I got a weird setup. Everything's close, and the toms are on a specific angle. Snare drum's in the middle of the toms. So if I do it, it'll probably take a half an hour to get it tweaked out, ready to go. One guy that does set up his own drums, Tommy Aldridge. He did a rock fantasy camp one couple of years back, and I walk in the room he's going to play. He's setting his drums up, and somebody said, "Yeah, he likes to set his own drums up. He doesn't trust people who set him up." Wow! So that was pretty surprising, you know. But I'd rather have somebody else set him up that knows how to set him up. So. Okay, next question. Let's take one more question.
Have you kept all the kits you've built over the years?
Have I kept all the kits I had over the years? I wish I did. Unfortunately, how stupid of me. I got rid of some of the Holy Diver drums, and I don't know what I was thinking. It was getting to be a lot of drums in the garage, and so I got rid of some of them. It's too bad. Now I have like remnants. Like I got the bass drum from the Mob Rules album. I might have a small couple of toms from Holy Diver. I can shoot myself for doing it. But I did have the 2007 kit from Heaven and Hell, which was the brown kit with the aerial toms. That's gone. That got sold to a cool company near where I live that does production, and they use those drums all the time because I'm not going to use them again. We move on. I'm now Sawtooth for years, and Joe gives me the drums I need and all the support I need to. And then the other set in 2009, it was the giant DW kit, 21 pieces, beautiful, beautiful kit. You can see it online. That I got an offer from a museum in Germany, and they wanted the kit. It's a rock museum. So I went, you know what? Why not? Because it's going to a great place. People could see it, and it could be on display. So that one went to Germany, with some cases, so that freed up a lot of room in the garage. Now that's filling up with ChromaCast stuff and Sawtooth stuff. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for joining me. I hope you're all well and safe, and I really appreciate this. And this, I love doing this. It's keeping me in good shape. And I'll see you next week. I'll be here after I'll let you know how the 4 gigs went that we did, and all that, and all the juicy stuff. But backstage gossip. So again, you guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you next week.